There we go.
Hello, everybody.
What is up?
I think I just witnessed Dylan like pass out in the background.
Oh, we're looking at a certified banger today. One can
Oh.
hope.
I mean, CloudBurst is a team after my own heart. They have a forward Atlas player, and you already know I'm excited to see it.
83% win rate for an Atlas player, so I'm expecting to see an absolute thwomping. Atlas forward is top one, best pick in the game. So,
Like, they just have the perfect combo for like for me to be a fan. They have Moth Honey. You don't score on Moth Honey, end of story. And you got forward Atlas. Like, I'm as content as can be to be watching and catching this match.
yeah, I mean, meanwhile, Team RPI also has Malphite Lover, who has been tearing up, putting in all those goals. And, Daniel Sodium playing Julie, my beloved. Anybody who plays Julie gets a special place in my heart because I love that stupid character. Dash Punch is a fair and balanced combo.
You can't forget our boy AJ Cannon either. He streams every now and again. There's also a caster here. Love my boy AJ Cannon. So this is gonna be a match where my heart breaks no matter who wins.
One of the best types of matches to watch, though. So, yeah. But also for our teams, fantastic. Yeah, for our map bands. There we go. Map bands. We got RPI. We're taking the first pick on Matt. CPKU, CloudBurst took that pick on the blue side for themselves.
I like the Authenticity, man. I'm a famous Authenticity hater. Maps smelly, ugly, stupid map. Demon Dice band though, going immediately like, all right, we're gonna get rid of the open and the really claustrophobic back. Like they went both sides of the spectrum and said nuh-uh to both. And then they picked Atlas Lab, the classic, the standard, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, Atlas Lab is tried, true, tested. I think probably the second most balanced map on the game. The first being Night Market. I'm a certified Night Market enjoyer. But then we got, Tycho Temple next, which is always silly, to say the least.
I mean, it works beautifully with Atlas forward, honestly. Like, you expanse in the corner and you just win.
Yeah, and then Clarion banned out after because nobody likes Clarion, and then Night Market, which, when it's between Night Market and IME, it's usually just a toss-up. That's very, very much so personal preference. I feel IME, Night Market, and Atlas are like the three core ones that...
I will say I'm an IME Zap hater, so to see IME Zap be our leftovers, our toss-up third map, kind of have to be curious in how that's going to play out. Especially because Atlas could just expand primary and you're dead in the hole.
It's all about the Atlas. It's all about the Atlas. But I like IMEs. I think it's a very fun map because it's open enough that characters like Juno and that really enjoy a lot of open space and can manipulate the ball well there can pop off, but the hole in the middle makes it so bruisers don't just suffer like they do in Otten City because they can still pick up some nice kills.
I mean, I see it, especially with the Julie threat, because they do have a Julie player of dash, punch, and hole, you win. Like, I could honestly see Juliet just being a midfield bodyguard, essentially. Like, oh, you want to cross the midfield line? Bonk. $20.
$20. Every
$20
time Julie gets a
cough
kill.
it up.
Every time Julie gets a kill, I'm just going $20.
Yeah,
Give me
Border Patrol. Border Patrol
right.
Juliet.
Yeah. But... honestly, I don't think there's any super polarizing maps coming out. Tycho is a silly map, but I wouldn't say it's very polarizing. And yeah, looks like we're getting in. I mean,
business. Why think about the maps when we can just get right into them?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Let's see what we're falling out here with, because I don't think we'll be seeing any super wild picks. Based on what we've seen from, oh boy, there it is.
Oh, they're hovering the Atlas. They're giving it the first pick. Ooh, and a Speed Awakening to complement the Atlas and the Kai. That could do a lot.
Yeah, well, perfect form is always. It's one of those. I mean, I feel like both of these are just awakenings you can take on any character in the game and thrive on, but they're also awakenings that, once again, aren't super polarizing. So we're once again in the situation where we're in a very, very neutral state. A neutral map, pretty neutral awakenings. So that'll be a fun start.
You know what? No, it's yeah, it is. I see that Atlas 4. Let's go! This is gonna be a fun match. I'm just curious if they're gonna go for perfect form for more KOs, or go stacks on stacks so that they can actually keep up with the speed of the match. Because that is one really big thing, is that with Atlas being a slower character, if you fall behind on speed, you're really gonna feel it as the match goes on.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, perfect form does allow for just getting more of those shields out, but I feel like you almost have to take stacks simply because Atlas's lack of mobility does hinder him a lot when playing more aggressive positions like that. And there's the Julie.
Ooh, yeah. So this is a very.
Frostfire.
That is Frostfire.
That's Frostfire. Let's go.
Hey, a canon matchup, huh?
Yeah, I think Frostfire is probably canonically the strongest team, or I blanked at their name.
Ember's Flame. Not Ember Flame. Oh, that's my team. Ember Monarch. God, I just did that.
Yeah.
Yes, Alvin, bro.
That's a quick one. Once again, that primary thing from Atlas. So
And we are looking at, I say, a fair distribution of stacks and perfect form, and instantly we're getting into a KO. I can't even type out who is playing who in the chat for the people at home. Holy moly. We're already into the bloodshed. We just started.
So good defense coming from Rios and Mothani.
They're really getting into this.
Being said, still a lot of level 1s, especially on the side of CloudBurst.
I think Daniel is the only level 2. Oh, as soon as I say that, HA is now level 2. Same with Agent Rios. Really matching Daniel in the midfield, saying, you're not getting past me for free.
Oh, there it goes. Slips by. Oh, good dash.
Ooh,
hey,
four flip to save it.
Yeah.
Juliet ult to stop the core, but you don't score on Moth Honey. Next question.
The projectile from the teleport actually did it hit there.
If it's not in
range.
If it's not in range, then it really won't. It won't even proc. Or even if it's in range, sometimes they'll pick a different target because it feels like it. Ooh, Barry goes down. Unfortunate own Barry from AJ. So now both teams are threatened, and Jackson throws it in.
Winning the strike war against Malphite.
Also, sir, I'll put the names of who is who in the chat.
Good kickoff. And then wins the trades a kickoff and a barrier for KO. But if they can't get this barrier either way, will it be worth it? Goes for another KO, trying to reset the stacks. Double barrier down, and Kai is down. Two flips, open net, down a man. This is scary.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just such a big energy advantage then for the side of RPI, because clearing out that energy for both forwards. But
I mean, it's reset. Secret tech of mine, the best way to get your barriers back is just to score the goal.
exactly.
So now we're back to a somewhat even playing field, even though Kai is going to miss his stacks as he immediately gets barrier almost two, but AJ is not letting that one fly.
Not at all.
A beautiful strike shot from Moth Honey, and the boys are with us today. Odin is watching over us, and then a KO.
Another. It's
He has been
just
sent to Valhalla.
dash punch century because Julie is running this lobby right now.
I mean, a dash and punch trying to get the KO. Max stacks now on the Juliet. She is going to be flying. Notably one of the fastest brawlers in the game at 460 speed. Tied with, I believe, Zentaro.
And, dash punch.
Great dribble into dash punch confirmed
punch.
from Daniel.
Great combo.
Real standard attack.
That's the good thing about having the stacks on this Julie. There's not a whole lot of kill threat coming out from the side of CloudBurst, and so Julie is very, very comfortable just to sit here on these max stacks, even beat Black Hole Shot or two. Meanwhile, on the side of RPI, they got Julie. I've even seen Estelle be able to pick up some of this damage with her primary and get these kills. So stacks can be a lot harder to maintain.
I feel like it's gonna come down to who will get max stacks first between Rios and Sodium and Daniel, just because of the pure fact of max stacks Kai is stupid fast and will be very elusive and hard to hit. Compared to with Juliet, it will make her even easier time catching up and getting those KOs. And as I say that, the Iron Spear whacks AJ Cannon and scores the goal.
Was that a visual bug on my end or yours? Because it looked almost like Dubu flashed out of existence for a second there. Where's the hit?
I did not see Dubu get banished to like the Twilight Zone. I did not know.
Vanish!
I do not see Rune in this game.
Oh, and a
perfect
good
live.
Saves himself with that. One down. And
My favorite use of Atlas special of I'm not ending my pressure yet. Why would I? I'm staying here.
That was a interesting flip. We'll call it the mind game. It's a redirect.
Oh, Dubu Wall is not always your friend. Expands for log. Will it be enough? No, it will not. AJ clears it away, but then immediately back on the pressure.
But Jax is looking low. No, alt is back again already. Never mind. I take back what I said.
He does have perfect form, so he is going to have a lot of cooldowns.
A lot of cooldowns. It's just extra scary, and yeah, that just pushes it right through.
I mean, how do you deal with the Iron Spear, the steel chair, if you will? Like, eventually you're going to crack under the sheer might of Atlas Forward.
You crack the Mako first is the plan.
But it's AJ, but it's Moth Honey. Doesn't get scored on. Next question. Doesn't get scored on AJ Cannon.
There we go. Just the unfortunate clear, bouncing right back, and just easy stuff for the Atlas there. Now,
lots of speed on the board here. This is a lot of speed. Some notable picks, in my opinion, would be Ad Rush Juliet, Fighter Flight Estelle or Kai, and then Chrono Boost Kai. Twin Drive Atlas is like, these are all just good awakenings.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder, does Doobie just pick away the Chrono Boost just to stop the Kai from getting it? I don't think so, but
I don't think that'd be worth it, no, because then it makes his roll a lot more unreliable.
Exactly, that's the thing. It's
dash range and Dubu.
Yeah, Dubu is like, it's a lot of characters you can just pick away a dash range thing, get the dash range prosper from it, even if the secondary isn't that good, as like a way to starve somebody else of what they want. But Dubu is actually like so detrimental to that increased dash range a lot of the time.
Great clears from Moth Honey, immediately throwing the pressure back onto AJ Cannon, and the Iron Spear just in there.
That was just textbook. They just won every single strike war on the side of CloudBurst there.
And you saw Jack too, he sat down and was like going through that plane, and he was like, I need to do this every time. Taking notes on how to crush his opponent with the sheer might of Atlas Forward. The Iron Spear, if you will.
And there we go. One buried out. Oh, and a double.
2 for 1, and then ride it. See, I told you. He was like, how do I do that again? Let me sit down and think about it. I was standing there, menacingly.
Contemplated. But yeah, I mean, just crossed up AJ Cannon there. Faked high, went low. Just absolutely amazing ball handling coming out of this Atlas right now. There's damage.
This Atlas truly is a baller. Ooh, utilizing the Mako speed to just be all over the place. He's like, yeah, Atlas might be slow, but not anymore.
Yeah, there's the
uses the lift so he doesn't have to worry about his flip getting snatched for survivability. Tries to contest the Dubu, goes right around though.
That's just a little too quick, but you know, Moth with both bears up isn't allowed to play so aggressively here, and that's just too much pressure to put up on the side of RPI. That was quick, that was lethal. And
it's because you don't score on Moth Honey. Next question.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, fantastic from CloudBurst there. They really just knew the game plan going into that round and said, hey, I mean, we are doing so well when we can keep this ball on the offensive side of the half, so let's just do that better this round. And they walk in and they get a monumentalist Atlas out of it.
Notably, even more speed from Kai with Knife's Edge. Now, I personally love Knife's Edge on the Brawler just because it gives him more speed, but it being on the midfield is really lethal as well, allowing you to keep like the core just in your possession so much easier. Another notable pickup for the side of RPI will be Juliet's prize fighter. If they get those stacks rolling, it could really turn into a big issue.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of comes down, if they can run it like they were last game, that is so large. But last game, I mean, not last game, but the first round, they had the better offensive pressure. They didn't have to worry about defense as much, so Juliet was able just to really run through the team on the offensive side. Just good defense from Moth right there.
I
But
mean,
now that they're
score on Moth Honey. Next question.
But now that they're pressured so much defensively now, Julie really has to be working to play defensively and can't be looking for those kills as much. That's going to be brings so much pressure off the side of RPI because killing is what Julie does best.
Great use of the stop the core, I need time. Steel chair.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, once again, that is just such a strong projectile on its initial cast. There you go.
Team
CloudBurst.
synchronization right there. And then
The
starts to KO
synchronization to
rolling.
get smacked.
Ad Rush Prize Fighter, now they're really trying to work towards their win con of getting these KOs.
Exactly.
This might be the start of a cascading waterfall. They can really make it work. Ooh, but Jax
Punch,
almost
but
got
no
his get back
cash.
in blood. Ooh, unfortunate angle from the Atlas hole. And then immediate barrier again. Jax True is like, yeah, you killed me, but guess what? I'm back, and I want your barriers and your core. I am scoring this.
Exactly.
And beautiful hit stun.
Just enough. And just AJ almost was able to get that and couldn't.
Just barely was out of range due to the hit stun saying, we're going to stop. We're going to let it cruise in.
Yep.
I mean, we are on Atlas's lab now that I think about it. Of course, Jax True is going to be
Of course we're
dominating.
doing
We are
well.
playing at his house.
That's
Oh my
why Dad
goodness,
did.
Moth Honey is down. And that's a flip for Daniel Sodium. Hey, forwards in the
And
net.
that's two
Forwards in
players.
the net. Rios kind of forced to 1v1 the Juliet.
Oh,
So
but-
Moth Honey gets back. But hey, Moth Honey is now back. They held
flip
up
just-
long enough.
Just at a bad angle. Just the flip didn't go in. AJ though, holding down the. Never mind.
Jax.
Caster's
Oh,
curse.
Jax True,
Curse.
get in there. Oh, and it in there.
Jax.
Oh my
Wow. What a
It was
game for the Atlas forward there.
Truly a dominant appearance from the Iron Spear. I'm expecting it to get banned out next match, I'll be honest.
I wouldn't be surprised actually. It's not something you really expect to see as a ban most of the time because who expects it? But after that performance, I think it'd be foolish not to.
I mean, I appreciate Daniel Sodium. Like, he was really trying his hardest. He was getting that work in. He had 5 KOs. It was really trying to confirm the KOs, punishing bad positioning. But, like, it's Atlas's world, and we're living in it. And that shows by Jax True's 8 goals. He was just so efficient. 30 shots. Just about, what, that's a fourth? Just under a fourth of his shots were confirmed, just going in anyways. Like, he was really efficient with his core touches. He was really
One orb the entire game too, which I think is a little funny. I mean,
don't need
you kinda
orbs
don't
where
need
he's
them when you got
going.
Atlas ult.
Yeah, he was playing beautifully for Atlas 4. Like, chef's kiss. Love you.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, and I think that was really the thing there. Once they got into their flow and cut off that offensive pressure that RPI had, made it so Daniel Sodium just couldn't run around and rack up those kills. Because of those 5 kills, I want to say all but 1, or no, all but 2. So half of them were in that first round. Over half of them were in that first round. And then that second and third round, they just played the offensive side so dominantly, using Atlas and Kai, that killer combo, Moth Honey coming up, and just didn't let the core into their side of the field and didn't give Juliet the space she wanted to get those positions to get those kills.
Like, even though they did get 2 KOs and it did lead to intense pressure, Agent Rios was able to honestly shut it down with a one-man defense, saying, not getting past me. Goalie may be down, but guess what? I'm still here. And he held it down just long enough for Moth Honey to come back both times.
Yeah. That being said, it was a really, really dominant game, but I wouldn't count RPI out. RPI looked so good during some of those matches. They looked just fantastic matches during some of those rounds.
I say what really happened was they lost the first Awakening draft, and then it just spiraled from there. Because if they can keep that same intensity, that same evenness they had with the first set all the way through, they would have been just fine. Like, they would have had a true shot. But Jax True and Agent Rios just kind of outscaled them, and it showed. York is eating Lakeland. Oh, man. Soren might need to retire, bro.
Didn't Soren not play last week?
If Soren's not playing, then what is Soren doing right now?
Soren can't beat the alarm. That's the real counter to Lakeland.
Snake lore. That happened. What's up with like all the top players and just sleeping in? Bro,
I don't know.
Wake up!
It's because they're up playing OS all night. I mean, they grind ranked all night, and then comes the actual important times. We don't care about
Why are they still in Chally? Why are they still in Chally? Get out of Chally then. Stop losing. Be a top player. Win.
Yeah.
I am very curious on how that match is going.
I forgot we had 2 Yorks.
I was honestly thinking of like a York peppermint patty, I'll be honest. I might just because I like the candy.
It's that time of year though. It's getting close. It's almost November.
Yeah, she's defrosting. She's defrosting.
I hope we get Christmas skins.
It would be really cool, but
give me
I
Santa
don't know if
Dubu.
they have that.
Give me Santa Dubu. That's all I need.
I want Santa X for Xmas. Yeah, come on.
That's a good idea. Odie, hire us. I have no artistic talent, but I have cool ideas.
I will be a perfect person to test ideas with and even do minor code editing.
I can't code. But yeah, I mean, what do you think as RPI? What is your game plan? What changes are you making to make sure this next game doesn't go with the last one?
Feed Juliet. Feed Juliet. Feed Juliet. You need to have a solid win con, and last match it was Juliet, but they weren't feeding her. She needs to have her room to play her game, and then we will really see them prosper.
I think if I'm RPI here, I'm going with a slightly more, I'm going with a midfielder that has a little bit more defensive presence. Just because then Julie can focus less on getting those clears out, less on hoping that your goalie can make the clears and get it to you, and then instead then play more offensively, get the positioning that she wants. I think that's one thing. Second, a little bit more aggressive play from Malphite would be awesome, because that's what Moth Honey was doing, and they were seeing such good success with it. And just a little bit, some more, like, not just all defensive cooldowns, which is a lot of what Malphite was running. Just defensive cooldown to get the ball out, because obviously that too, because of the offensive pressure coming out, but freeing up that space to then enable the slightly more offensive Dubu, enable the more offensive Julie, and I think that they can honestly really take this next game.
I'm very interested in seeing a game 3, so I'm really hoping for RPI to win, but, like, if Jax True gets the Atlas, I don't know if we're going to see it. Like, he was a very dominant Atlas this last match, so I'm curious if they're going to adjust and ban him out instead of Moth Honey.
I wouldn't be surprised. If you just get ran over by an Atlas forward like that, I see no reason to let that Atlas forward stay. But, yeah, I mean, and I think as CloudBurst, not a whole lot I would change about that. At the start, round 1, they looked a little caught off guard by the pressure from the Julie, but then they settled in and completely caught RPI off guard in round 2, and by the set 2. And by the last set, RPI looked like they were starting to adapt back to it, and they were starting to pick up some of those kills. And so that's why I'm excited into this next game, see has RPI adapted to this playstyle from CloudBurst, and how are they rocking on it now. But honestly, if I'm in CloudBurst shoes, I'm feeling real happy about that. Took them a second to get the game plan going, but once they got it going, they ran with it.
Yeah, it really does come down to if they adjust, and if they can adjust fast enough to how CloudBurst adjusts, because they clearly have some real chemistry going where Rios can actually go back and play goalie without having much issue. And especially with Moth Honey walking up, they can have that double midfield-esque synergy going on. So if they can, if RPI can't adjust to that, it really could cause a lot of problems down the line.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's the thing, that near the end of that, I think it took CloudBurst a second to heat up, but RPI just looked lost in that second set, but now the end of the third set, they were starting to look a little bit more awake. They were getting those kills, they were getting the barriers, and it was looking more reminiscent of that first set. And so I think they started to get the download, they started to adapt, sort of say, hey, Moth Honey's going to walk up and play more towards the midfield. We're just going to have, you know, Daniel Sodium just walk up and get the kill, which is what we saw happen. And now we're getting ready to go into this next game, and we'll see. Theory means nothing in the face of actual gameplay.
It's tested versus untested, essentially.
Exactly. See what we are rocking into. Taiko is also interesting because it's. I feel like this is a CloudBurst favored map.
Oh, 100%. CloudBurst is definitely favored, especially with that Atlas forward. It gives so much corner pressure. Alright, so now we must guess what the starting awakenings are. Here's my guess. Atlas and forward.
I'm guessing 1-2 punch for Julie, and I'm guessing Monumentalist for Atlas if Atlas doesn't get banned out.
I am guessing Prime Time and Spark of Agility.
Okay.
Ooh, amazing counterplay. Choosing to pick out the Atlas this time. Killed and pick ban. No more Iron Spear. Instead showing the Iron Wall. And then they're going to try and pick out the Kai as well. They're really just trying to take their picks.
Yeah. I mean, understandable. If you can play the enemy team's pick, play the enemy team's pick. There's no point not. If you're comfortable on the character, I'll just play it. Starve them from it. Starve them from their comfort zone. We're seeing Rasmus Zen. This is gonna be a bloody match. We got.
So I'm assuming that's Rasmus goalies and Taro forward, and they left midfield for last. But with doing that, they then gave Malphite Kai, which now I wonder what.
Somebody said Krampus Rasmus. That'd be a sweet skin. Yeah, that'd be a sweet skin.
Is this Rasmus mid? Is this Rasmus midfield and Taro brawler Mako goalie?
It could be. I mean, the thing is, Rasmus is the Taro of both brawlers. Unstoppable explosive entrance. Okay, that explains why we're seeing such a brawler-heavy game.
And Zentaro doesn't go explosive.
No, goes unstoppable. I think to stop the threat of the Julie, because Julie does get a little neutered from by unstoppable. I really think it's the best counter to Juliet in the game is just grab it unstoppable and prospering. Saying, dash punch me now.
I will say I really do like the idea of Rasmus midfield. Because he has the tools in his kit and the core control to honestly be a proper midfielder. It's just that you picked him into unstoppable start, which is honestly his worst start. He is very much a one. Whoa, double from Jack True.
Oh, Daniel Soda. No, not Jack.
Jack True. Oh, he is bleeding out in the corner, crying in the club. Oh, Moth Honey saves it. Hook for speed.
Won the strike board, keeping up that offensive pressure, but they do get the clear out. But Moth Honey once again making sure that. Oh, never mind. Malphite Lover said block this and hit the funny button.
Ooh. Almost goes in. Corner pocket. The Expanse just whips outright.
Just whips, and then neither one of them struck either.
Oh, and then the unfortunate own goal.
Yeah. Hate to see it, but I mean, I'm still wondering about Unstoppable Julie. Like,
Julie doesn't really want her dash awakenings because it makes her dash punch too long, and it's honestly very
reactive. Explosive on Julie. I'm not gonna lie. I might be a heathen for it, but I love explosive enter Julie. Now, Unstoppable's good. It's never bad, but into Rasmus Zen, I feel like they're kind of more. They're not gonna really one-shot you a lot of the time. Like, and that's what you take Unstop into. You take that into Vice Ult, dash punch, and that's open goal.
Open goal. Moth Honey having the last barrier. I foresee Moth Honey having to take more of a defensive front on this match just because there's so much speed for Malphite, especially having a dash awakening
and so much kill pressure. You overextend as a goalie once and you're just dead. Yeah, Malphite slips it in too.
Barriers open. But Jack's True get the core. Core flips it and sinks it in.
So tragic. The Expanse actually working against AJ Cannon there.
Yeah, I'm currently getting the names down. There we go. All right, barrier 1 down, barrier 2 down, instantly firing back with just an explosive start, an explosive entrance, if you will.
I was waiting for it. But yeah, I mean, a lot more comfortable from the side of RPI, even though they do have both their barriers open right now. It's not looking too super hot for them. Ooh, that's a
ooh, hook right in. Even does the feint.
That was
beautiful find from CloudBurst, now putting them 2-1. If they can take this set and really start that cascading effect we saw last time, it could really be big trouble for RPI.
Yeah, I mean,
barrier 1 down.
Momentum is so big in this game.
Barrier 2 down. Great patience from Mothhoney, by the way, in order to stop the Alpha from scoring.
Every time they get it onto the side of CloudBurst, Moth just sends it right back, and it's back to another defensive situation for RPI. They just can't seem to get the offense started.
And Mothhoney's strike shots, we cannot ignore these, have been honestly beautiful to stop the offense before it even truly starts. Has been using it as both a pass cover and a way to restart the offensive play. It was like, I'll do it myself, kick it off the drum and score it.
That Mako primary is essentially another strike shot. One you have to charge, albeit, but it can really, really, really catch you unaware if positioned right. What do you take here as a Mako?
I would be either hot shot or missile prop just to increase my damage and range, because now I can cage the other goalie from home. Though with Kai, I personally go fighter flight over stagger swagger. You're not really taking the damage to die, and fighter flight Kai is a stupid fast character.
Yeah, I love fighter flight here. I mean, I never mind stagger swagger, especially into a Zentaro Rasmus Mako. It just means you can play a little more aggressively and not have to worry about dying as much. That being said, like...
Oh, as soon as you say that, Malphite blows up. Like, explodes.
Yeah, explodes really fast.
But takes the barriers.
Yeah, both barriers down. Normal punch.
Shot in the dark, might as well. Ult to stop the core, though, to just not go the way that Jack Shrew wants. One barrier down, will we see a second? No, it gets out. Now Agent Rios is trying to force it through this Juliet.
Yeah, I mean, that once again, that dominant CloudBurst pressure that we've seen was not as apparent right there. RPI managed to get it onto the side of CloudBurst and keep it there and actually pressure Honey for a bit. And I mean, we see what happens. We get those.
Ooh, Jack Shrew really going for a suffocating offense, and Rios closes him with him. It's like watching a duck sit in a pond of piranhas. You just see them all just circle in and then just gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just lethal from the side of CloudBurst here. Sure, RPI are getting these spurts of pressure where they'll get a barrier or even two, but it's not enough because they can, even if they maintain it for 5-10 seconds, then the jaws of CloudBurst just once again close in on them.
I mean, I know why it's not working. It's because you don't score on Mothhoney. No. That's a barrier. Not getting scored on. Jack Shrew and Agent Rios, the offensive duo, are going to put it in before they have a chance.
Oh my gosh, and it just goes right up.
Oh. It's because you don't score on Mothhoney. The offensive pressure from Jack Shrew and Agent Rios is too much.
And you gotta wonder if this starts to like chip away, because you keep getting what feels like good plays on the side of RPI, but in the end you just can't maintain the pressure long enough to actually fully capitalize off them. And it has to start getting a little mentally draining, to get a barrier, get even a second barrier, getting these open goals and just not being able to convert, because the second you make one mistake offensively, it seems like Rios and Jax are just capitalizing near perfectly on every single mistake that's coming out from this RPI side.
Beautiful ult from both Jack Shrew and Mothhoney. AJ Cannon keeping his high alive, though he is running around at high speeds. Honestly, being 1-to-1 with the core. Beautiful core stop from Jack Shrew.
once again, the barrage just misses, and there it is. As I said, one mistake, and it could spell doom for you when you're against this CloudBurst team.
Around the world, and it goes unfortunate own goal from AJ Cannon. The Alucas Span's not working as he wants.
You saw that they missed one barrage. They had the offensive pressure. They had both barriers open. They were feeling good. They miss one barrage and lose that entire round because of it. Because they gave an opportunity for Jax and Rios just to close in, and there's not much AJ can really do in the face of that pressure. And that's aerials on Mako.
I'm thinking it may be aerials on Mako, but for the most part, RPI won this draft, having both Knives Edge and Manu. Honestly,
I think so. The one thing that makes me scared is Moth's projectile is going to be near full map at this point, which is just going to make it even so much harder for RPI to get this pressure, because now Moth gets to be sitting defensively in net and still be throwing out basically cross-map projectiles. And see what I mean?
Oh, that primary just, I think it's still going to this day. It just passed my car.
Yeah. And there we go. A little bit of pressure, but not honestly anything too hard for Moth Honey. It's still more around the midfield. They get it past.
Don't score on Moth Honey. Next
talk about not scoring on Moth Honey. Let's talk about more of this pressure just coming from Rios and Jax Drew. Jax just throwing up so much in the face. And look at the positioning there. Both Jax and Rios using their superior mobility and speed just to get past the other team's midfield and forward, just creating a 2-on-1 for AJ, which against Erasmus and Centauro, not characters you want to be 2v.
A very unfortunate, or fortunate, depending on how you look at it, secondary again from AJ Cannon, really just securing his own barrier. And then the flip,
oh my gosh,
then flip again. No, but they're able to stop it this time. But Moth Honey is like, oh, we're not done. Another flip. And now that we're no more flip.
The barrier does go down.
Moth Honey is not Moth Honey. Malphite Lover is flying.
Yeah, he's real fast right now, and now with open net, the Kai can really take advantage of that speed so much more. But Jax, Crew, nope. Rio's being forced to play a little bit more defensively, giving AJ Cannon a much-needed breath. But how long will that last? It'll last to the next go.
Fine.
And notice that once again, Malphite using that speed to get those barriers open. And once that goal was open, it seemed like the game opens up for RPI because Moth can't play so aggressively, Rios can't play so aggressively, so Jax can still be on there creating that great offensive plays, but without Rios and Moth to really create that three-man there's not as much for CloudBurst, and it seemed a lot easier for AJ to defend. There we go, there's two.
Oh, almost has the most beautiful core stop play, but just barely struck out of his hands. Jax Drew going for the double A, but doesn't get it.
Doesn't matter, see? And now
AJ Cannon holds it down for the 2.
RPI is now the one looking like they're just getting the easy, quick clear back out and save the offensive pressure. You saw that it came around. AJ just hit it right back onto the offensive side of the court and just went back to chilling.
Ooh, and a devious Giga Blast to get a free KO on Rios. Now Moth Honey has to hold out for his teammate to respawn before he can get defensive help. And as soon as I say that, AJ Cannon gets one. Not AJ. Jax Drew gets one. Goes for the second, but strikes a little too early. There's two.
This is where CloudBurst seems to struggle, is once they get these open goals, when their own goals open up. But this team is so good offensively, but seems to have so many defensive woes.
I don't know. It's still Moth Honey in the net. And like laser pointing at the world, and I got one man to defend against it. I'm picking Moth Honey. Very, very poor timing.
But yeah, I mean, once again, RPI showing signs of life, not going down without a fight.
All right, I say some major pickups for both sides is going to be this perfect form and this twin drive.
Team player.
Really want focusing on those passes, but with most of your offense being spearheaded by the Kai. I don't think that's the pick.
No, that's what I'm not sure. I mean, I get it to starve the Mako from it because with how offensive this Mako's playing, her passes with team player is going to be absolutely devious. But at the same time, I feel like you're really giving up a lot there. That
Yeah,
makes
Cloud
sense.
Strike won that draft 100%. You got size on Rasmus. You get perfect form on Zentaro. We're just about to see them just honestly utilize this one draft and run away with it like they did last time. I'll be honest. It's what I expect to see.
The one thing the other reason why I really don't like that pick is even if it was to starve the Mako from team player, then the Mako just went and took the 1-2 punch from your Julie. So in the end, if you don't take that, Mako takes team player, your Julie gets 1-2 punch, and you get stuff on your Kai. You get a perfect form of your Kai. But regardless, not to contemplate
from
the
Daniel's
event,
podium.
what is happening?
What's happening is that CloudBurst is like, all right. You had your fun. Let's get back to the regularly scheduled program.
There we go, and yeah, there it is. It's just like a set of jaws are closing in on AJ during some of these offensive sets. And it's so feast or famine for the side of RPI, I guess is a good way to put it. I mean, we either see times like this where it's like one, and then Moth gets Moth doesn't get a free clear actually, but a lot of flips coming out from both sides. That's both flips coming out from both forwards of CloudBurst.
I mean, with flips, you only really need one. Let's be honest.
Yeah, still, but losing out on a flip, and there we go.
And now they lose the Zentaro, and that's huge because Zentaro was building stacks on stacks. That's a lot of potential speed lost right there while they have the power play, but Rios is honestly holding it off.
Yeah, Rios and Moth not too keen on giving up a goal. I mean, a barrier. And they still won't. This pressure from RPI was looking good, but
the defense from Moth Honey and Rios, this defensive duo is just too much to bear.
Yeah, no, I mean, RPI needs to start trying to work it around, get some of these passes off, but just can't seem to get that done with this defensive core. But that being said, AJ able to cast her curse. Never mind. Cast her curse.
It's because CloudBurst is like, let's get back to schedule.
I mean, we saw there's great pressure coming from RPI, but I've been talking all game about how good offensively CloudBurst has been, like in situations like this, where they just get both of their forwards, and then Moth Honey comes up, and it just seems so dire.
Right.
But you know, these last two goals have been more defensive, just masterclasses from the side of CloudBurst. They really
because you don't score a Moth Honey. Next question.
Yeah, and a little flick out, and once again, both sides just seem to be kind of clearing up back towards each other. No real pressure coming out. Looking to change that though from the side of CloudBurst, but
oh my goodness, such an offensive like exuberance of pressure. Like you are not getting past those two, and it's really showing how well the hook can be used in midfield. To honestly stop playing before they start, and Juliet is dead.
Yeah, I mean, Mako ult is a silly ability. Oh,
what a strike shot to bounce it off their own goal gate, and then it's in confirmed dash.
Yeah. Even with 3 people, it was already so much to stop that CloudBurst offense. Losing the Julie, so much worse.
As I said,
not bad showing from RPI, despite what
really
the scores
wasn't.
may say and how it looked. That was, I mean, honestly, a really good match, and despite how behind they seemed at some points in the game, they were still there, they were still competitive, they were still fighting. CloudBurst just played better and won more. Yeah, look at that.
I mean, 50 saves from HA Cannon, but it wasn't enough.
No.
Just like the true balance between Jack Shrew and Rios in offense shows. Have 4 goals each.
I mean, look at 28 shots coming from Mouth Honey. And that's the thing. I mean, Malphite Lover had the majority of the shots. And so Moth Honey could just pop that funny Mako secondary and just wait it out, and then boom, clear it out. Meanwhile, that's a three-pronged pressure coming out from CloudBurst. They have Moth with pressure, they have Rios, and they have Jax. All three coming from different spots, different characters, different types of pressure, and it gets so overwhelming, especially from the side of AJ. Exactly 36 shots for each forward, notice.
Oh, wow. Yeah, talk about true synchronicity.
Yeah. That was I mean, if I'm RPI, I'm not leaving thinking, wow, that was such a rough match. Yeah, it looks like it was a bit of a smackdown, but they really showed up, and there were some major sparks of life there. And I think a lot of teams would have kind of fallen apart and lost their cool, especially by the end of that last game. But I mean, I think that's actually where they look best. You put them under the fire, and they were, getting honed. And each time,
they definitely did not quit, and that shows. I'd say next week this will be a team to look out for, both CloudBurst and RPI. There's chances for both of them to not only win their next matches, but honestly make a playoff run. I believe there's still time for that.
Yeah, CloudBurst especially, if they can keep up that offensive pressure, I mean, it was almost brutal because I wasn't even talking. I was counting Moth Honey out for like the entire first half this series because Moth really never had to do much work. There was so much pressure coming out from Jax and Rios. Moth would get the ball, clear it every once in a while, have to stuff out the Kai and like stuff out Malphite, and then just whoop, send it right back on the merry way where Jax and Rios just kind of kept it. I wish we had a thing where we could see how much time the core spent on each half of the field, because I wouldn't be surprised if it would be like 80% on the RPI's side.
Oh yeah. I will say it was a beautiful showing from both of these teams, 100%. Love seeing the Atlas Fords. My favorite of all time.
Yeah, worked well too. I mean, but then obviously not to discredit Moth, when push came to shove, Moth really did show up so defensive side, proving just how multifaceted the team is. They aren't just a pure offense, shove it in your throat or die team. They also showed, hey, we can play defense, we can pull it out. But yeah, great game.
Oh, 100%. I will say that'll be it for this match. Don't
Indeed.
go anywhere though. We still have one more left of esports at LSU Black versus UA Alberta. Don't go anywhere. I will still be here. I believe half will be leaving. I'm gonna go deal with them in the back. Don't worry about it.
I am dipping.
Don't worry about what I'm about to do though. Okay?
Yeah, thank you all. Have a nice night. Well,
And good night.
yeah.